Hey guys, I want to talk about people talking out of their ass, especially to kids. Now, if you don't know what talking out of your ass means, let me get my phone over here. If you don't know what talking out of your ass means, that is when someone says something very profoundly as fact with no clue what they are talking about. And this isn't anything new. This has been going on for, thousands of years. People just talk and say stupid shit. Maybe because they made it up. Maybe because they just happened to hear it somewhere, so they felt like spewing it forth from their cake hole. But this can be a very dangerous thing to do. Okay? Because once you start that, and people know you're full of shit, they're not going to listen to anything you have to say. Especially with kids. If you do it with kids, that's very bad. Because then kids will almost immediately shut you down. They may not come right out and do it, but once kids realize you're full of shit, they're not going to listen to anything you have to say. Even if you have something important to say to them, they're going to take it with a grain of salt, and they're not going to listen to you. Prime example I have, when I was a kid in high school, I had a teacher who, I remember one of the first things he said was he was talking about the city of Nashville, Tennessee. And he said, Nashville, Tennessee is just a little town. He said, I think besides the Grand Ole Opry, the tallest building in town is a 2-story Wendy's. Now, I had been to Nashville, Tennessee. I knew that Nashville, Tennessee was a big city. And so I called him out on it. And he humiliated me in front of the other class and just laughed at me and told me I was stupid. So I got up, walked into the library, grabbed a World Almanac, and showed him that Nashville, Tennessee was a quite large city. I think 15th or 16th largest city in the U.S. It's a big city. And first he said, oh, that atlas or almanac is probably old. It's probably way outdated. So I showed him that it was brand new. And then he just said, well, there's 3 types of lies. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. Then I wanted to go, no, you're full of shit. Now, a lot of people would say to that, well, who cares? Why does the population of Nashville, Tennessee matter? And the answer is it doesn't. In the greater scheme of things, the population of Nashville, Tennessee means nothing. But when it comes from your teacher who's saying something in front of the class like it's fact, I didn't listen to a damn thing he had to say intentionally for the rest of the year. And actually, that wasn't the one that broke me. There were others. There was one, a guy who was taken prisoner by either Japan or Germany. And he flipped off, basically hid his hand behind, he hid the middle finger behind his other hand and just flipped off the camera while he was talking, making a propaganda film, saying that he was being treated well as a prisoner. Just so the Americans would know it was bullshit when they saw it. The way he said it was a whole group of guys and they all smiled and flipped the camera off. So he had the whole concept of it wrong. And I had already seen the video. It was a video that had been shown on the History Channel numerous times. I had seen what he was talking about. And he was just wrong. And then there was another one. He said, Michael Dukakis. He said Michael Dukakis was 5'3", and he was a tiny little man, and that's why he lost the presidency. I knew at I think I was 16 years old then, that Michael Dukakis was a normal size man. He was 5'8". He's average height, He did have a big head, but he was average height. He wasn't a tiny little man. And so I think I called him out on that too. And he said, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, no, fucktard, yeah, I do. And rather than actually try and learn something, he just dismissed me with a laugh and then did the, oh, who cares? Why is it important? Well, it's important because you're my teacher. You, Mark Ewing at East Lincoln High School, you're a fucking idiot. But yeah, see, and so I didn't listen to anything he had to say for the rest of that class. None of it was important to me at all. As far as I was concerned, he was just a moron. So as far as I know, he's still teaching there too, so I hope he hears this. I don't give a shit if he does. He's a fucking idiot. But, so yeah, there was that. And so my grandmother used to do something similar. She would say things as fact. My grandfather did too, because they might have heard it somewhere one time. So they just repeat it. No clue whether it's true or not. They just talk. My grandmother used to say the city of Atlanta was one of the oldest cities in the United States. And I told her, I said, no, I don't know where you heard that, but that's not true. Atlanta was built around the railroad. Oh, no, honey, you're wrong. So I showed her numerous times where I was right. And finally, towards the end of her life, she finally believed me when I showed her for the last time, look, here's where the railroads still come together. This is what Atlanta was built around and got its charter in 1865. The city of Charlotte, which we lived in, got its charter in 1750. Okay, Atlanta is a new city compared to many in the United States. She finally believed me when I showed her for the last time. Is that important now? No, absolutely not. But it's the fact that she was supposed to be my superior. She was my guardian. She was the person who was supposed to teach me, and she was a teacher for 35 years before she retired. So, she was the one that was supposed to know this stuff. She was the one that wasn't supposed to talk out of her ass to a kid. But she did. Now, I listened to things my grandmother said after that because she was a very smart woman. But as far as a teacher that you only have for a semester, or an adult who's trying to educate you on how to do something properly, if you're an adult trying to educate a kid on how to do something properly, and half of what you say that isn't related to what you're showing them is just bullshit, they're not going to listen to you when you're showing them the important stuff. So, anyway, hope everybody's having an awesome day. That's just my thoughts on that. Don't talk out of your ass. There's no point in it. If you don't know what you're talking about, just be quiet. Or, if you think you know what you're talking about, if you think you know something somebody's doing wrong, do a little research and figure it out. Okay? And then, if you do accidentally say something out of your ass, and an actual expert comes up, or someone who does know what they're talking about and says, no, dude, you're fucking wrong. Before you get cocky, do a little research and learn for yourself. Find out, hey, maybe this person's right. You never know. But anyway, I'm Mouth to Mouth Craig. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. Stay safe, stay corona free. Watch out for murder hornets. Peace, guys.